So as Professor Tumine mentioned, that is the career development group. This is a move that was set up from the principal's office, nominated to set up this program. And this program is going forward, has moved to different departments to make this a college agenda where departments participate independently. He has gone through the objectives. I'll just talk about the approach at Makerere College of Health Sciences. We decided to make it an evidence-based program. You've heard of implementation science. I think this is one of the aspects of implementation science. We find the problem, generate the solutions, and actually implement the solutions. And along the way, we monitor and evaluate the impact. So we had an IRB-approved proposal to approve all the research that is generated so that we identify the gaps and provide solutions that are generated from the gaps and produce a program that can be, like Professor mentioned, that can go along through the years. So our current focus is that we are developing a career development program document that is going to run for the next 5 years. And we have solicited for involvement of various partners to support the College of Health Sciences. MCDC is one of the partners, Thrive, MEPI, Fogarty. So all the partners that come to the college, it is our call that they will support career development activities. So this is an institutional-led program with central coordination by the career development group. And this will be implemented through the departments as has been piloted in the last 1 year. And we will have utilization of the Makerere College of Health Science Research Support Center for specific faculty training needs that may be identified. And we plan to have a monitoring and evaluation program for this for the next 5 years. So I'll briefly talk about what happens to a faculty when you come into the university as a junior faculty. I think our dream is to go ahead and be senior faculty and then develop into accomplished experts, leaders, and then mentor others. But how we do this is in many times not very clear. People do it in different ways. People take different times. I'll give my personal experience. When I got an appointment letter as a lecturer in the Department of Medicine, one of the very important things that happened is that our head of department at that time, Professor Mayanja, called a meeting for everybody who had been hired during that year and called all the professors to come and speak to us. This was a meeting that changed our lives. One of the things she said was that you have been hired to this position to be a permanent student. And we had finished our master's program. We said, how can we be a permanent student? But the earlier you get that in your mind, the better for you. So we became permanent students, did PhDs, finished PhDs, did postdoctoral studies, and we are still students up to now. So I believe that that is part of the mentoring and support that we need to give to other faculty. So through the needs assessment that we did in the different departments, I'll just highlight a few needs that came out in the different departments. So one, people said they wanted to know more about authorship. They wanted to know about manuscript writing, because as we'll hear the discussions later, within the academic institution, doing research and writing is very important, first of all for the faculty, but also to provide evidence methods of improving patient care. So another need that was identified is balancing research, clinical care, and administrative responsibilities. Personal development planning. Many people said they have not gone through the process of developing their personal development plans. Balancing career and family was also highlighted as one of the important things. Grantmanship. People want to write grants, bring money, and do research, but this process is gray in many areas, so we need support. Time management was also listed. So, going to different departments, we found that the needs are varied, but we have compiled a comprehensive list that we think will be addressed in various ways over the next 5 years. So what are the models of implementation? This has been implemented through departmental meetings. Many departments have monthly meetings where we have gone and applied to have career development as one of the slots. We went to pediatrics in their monthly meetings, and we found that this is a comfortable slot where people are able to come and speak about career development. We've had lunchtime meetings. We've had 1 hour early morning faculty meetings, workshops, panel discussions, and we've also identified that people need protected time for individual consultations where people come and talk one-on-one about their career development. Invited talks by experts in the field. We had one about faculty career development. So, has been the spectrum of career development, which has been directed by the needs of our faculty through the needs assessment. So we find that people are yearning for career advice, people are yearning for networking opportunities. One of the things we see is that people want to develop collaborations, people want to work with different people, and it is one of the reasons, we have a seat here for the former principal and the current principal and the deans, but they agreed that they will not take it. They want to sit among us so that we can have the networking opportunities. So, Dr. Wanga, if you are close, don't miss the opportunity. So our senior people, our senior colleagues have agreed to come down and support the junior faculty. So there's research support that is required. And with this, the college has a research support center that is available to offer different courses, different training that is required by our faculty. So depending on the needs that are identified, whether it is data analysis, whether it is research, or this can be supported by our research support center. So we need to also support people to understand the system. Some of the meetings have been about understanding the system. What does it take, as I told you, what does it take if you are hired as a lecturer at Makerere University? What does that mean? We need to understand the system. As we'll hear from obstetrics and gynecology, people want to know what does it mean. I think we need to have an orientation session where people are launched into their positions. People need to have work-life balance and any support. This is going to be a dynamic program. Whatever gap is identified, then it is supported at that level. So these have been implemented. Implementation of the career development series. These were started at the College of Health Sciences. This is one of the sessions that occurred in Davis Lecture Theatre. And it was highlighted in the newsletter, and it was well attended by both senior faculty and junior faculty. So about mentoring and institutionalizing this is a move that has been supported by our administration, I must say. The dean has supported, the former dean, Professor Mayanja Siza, supported this. She has been attending these meetings and supporting the here we see a picture where she is contributing to discussions on authorship. Faculty have been able to discuss real-life case studies at Makerere College of Health Sciences. So we don't import case studies, we get somebody volunteers their life as a case study, and that is discussed. We benefit from it and we learn from it. We've also had a session on faculty making their personal development plans. This was a lunchtime meeting. Hazel was one of the experts that was invited to attend this meeting. And she took us through what it means to write a personal development plan, which should be time-bound, smart objectives, all those things were discussed. If you are not there, don't worry, we will have more sessions about this, because that is very important. And this was attended by senior and junior faculty. They were able to participate. As somebody mentioned earlier, a personal development plan, it doesn't only help the junior faculty, it also helps the senior faculty, even a senior faculty, I think even a principal may benefit from one. So department chairs have also participated in this program. So the head of department, this picture shows the head of department then, Professor Moses Kamya, who participated in the personal development planning meeting. And the current principal, picture may be small, but he also attended this meeting. This picture here shows our meeting in pediatrics, which was part of the monthly department meeting in pediatrics. And here we discussed the need for research interest groups. So we realized that the departments at the college are at different levels of development. So on my left, you see the Department of Pediatrics. This is a big department. Maybe I should say mature department. It has a good number of senior faculty, but also a good number of junior faculty, and probably a less number of mid-level faculty. And at this meeting, there was a unanimous suggestion that we should have research interest groups that include senior faculty, mid-level faculty, and junior faculty. So that if they are, for example, to approach a grant application, they work together. And this will be able to carry it on to the next generation. So I believe that this move has been taken on by pediatrics. On the other hand, on the right-hand side, we have anesthesia. This is a young department, I should say. I think the head of department is here, and she will tell us more about it. So majority of the people, I think half of the people in this department are lecturers, and another half are assistant lecturers. So when you got here, these people had different needs from the Department of Pediatrics. So this people said, we have done our research, and some of it is in dissertation form, some of it is in result form, and we need it to be published. So from this department, we invited the head of the career development group, Professor Tumwine, and the team. He also happens to be chief editor of the African Health Science Journal. So he led a manuscript writing workshop for the Department of Anesthesia, and many of them have been able to submit some manuscripts for this. So then what is monitoring and evaluation for this program? What is our plan? Because what you don't monitor, you don't know what happens, and you don't know where it ends. So part of this document has a monitoring and evaluation plan. It may be in small print, that may not be for afar, but it is important to know that we have it. One, we are going to monitor training, and this will be monitored through a tool that includes the list and number of students of staff with PhDs, list and number of staff on PhD training, list and number of staff with master's degrees, list and number of staff on master's training. So these kind of things are there, but there is no specific database or place where to find them. So this is going to put them up in a tool, and you can get them at the click on the website. We'll also monitor research by looking at the publications, total number of publications annually, the number of staff leading on these publications, the areas covered by the publications, where the research is being done, because sometimes there are publications and maybe the samples are collected in this country and the laboratory activities are done in another country. So this is something that we also monitor. Conference presentations, invited talks, the grants that have been submitted, awarded, the list of active ones. So the M&E section is going going to work on this and to be easily accessible. Students supervised and mentored, and then career progression, number 4 in each positions, promotions that are going on, and then career development activities that are going on in the different departments will also be monitored, sessions done, and the proposed approach is that we'll do it at departmental level by the career development leads with central coordination at the college level. So all the departments we have gone to in the School of Medicine have taken this on, and they have nominated people that will be in charge of this kind of activities. So we believe that in the next 1 year, this is going to be set off, as we said, for the next 5 years. So I wish to acknowledge all the people that have participated in this career development group that I mentioned, the Makayo College of Health Science leadership, the faculty, MCDC, and all other partners that are supporting career development for the College of Health Sciences. Thank you very much.